I love you, babe. Have a good one.
We're overwatering it and it needs more sun. I found a plant.
Olivia, when all the leaves fall off and it turns brown, and you could literally crush up those leaves and put it over a steak for some herbs, that means we're not watering it enough. So you didn't water it enough for 2.5 weeks. It died. We watered it to save it, and now it's overwatered. So how about this? How about for the first time ever in your life, you keep a plant alive, and I will give you a double thumbs up.
Are you on right now?
Yeah. Love you, sweetie. Olivia's trying to keep a plant alive. We will take bets on that. Yeah, that'll be interesting. See you in a couple minutes.
Hey, gang, Dominic Izzo, host of the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely TV, reminding you, watch my friend Matt Spear on The Dumb Show daily as well here on Spreely TV. You're going to get talk, news, trending politics, all social issues, everything entertaining and engaging and educational. Do it. Watch it. The Dumb Show, Spreely TV, home of free speech. Speak freely here at Spreely. Pretty damn cool. Spreely TV and The Dumb Show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Thanks for the donations. Some of those have come in over when the show is off, so it catches up, and then some of them were from last night. But either way, appreciate the donations. That's always nice. I don't know whether you guys had a chance to see it at the bottom. If you go to that's the new possible chat window I'm playing with. I don't think I'm going to do it, but let's go ahead and assume that maybe we'll have a chat window. If you don't know, there's a new way to do this. You can go to link tap go /The Dumb Show. I know the mods have it in here, and I've heard this for 3 years. Hey, we don't have stars. Hey, we can't tip. Hey, we can't donate. And I didn't even really know that was a huge thing until recently, until I realized I don't have it. And it builds the community, it builds camaraderie, and people like to do it. So who am I to stand in the way of having you do that? So if you go to link tap go, The Dumb Show, TheDumShow. One of the mods is going to put it up. Olivia's not here tonight. I need your help. And you can go there and you can click tip. And then what it'll do is it's kind of cool. Is you can go in and you can tip, and I think the amount's like $2, like $4, $6, $8, $12 to $10,000, whatever you want to do. I don't care. It's up to you. And you get to put a like a little avatar, like this little meme, a GIF, and your own little message. Be nice. This could be dangerous, but either way, it gives you a chance to kind of give back to the show, and I think it's awesome. And you'll get recognized. And I know people are like, dude, everybody has this. You suck. Yeah, I know, but I'm old, so I'm learning. And these new tricks are invaluable for someone my age. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. Had a really good show last night. And so, Michelle, how do you watch on Spreely? This is really easy. Like, this is one that I can show you. We can do it together. So if we go over here, and I need to move over, but if I just go to the internet, and I need to move over. There we go. Much better. And you come on over here to On Demand, and you can click and see all the shows from the past right here. It's this simple. Click it, and you're in it. And you can go ahead and play a show directly from here. And that's how you do it on Spreely, okay? Now, if you want to watch the show, you watch live, you go to live channel 1 and hit play. And there's people chatting in there already, which is kind of cool. And then that pulls up and you get locked up. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time because I'm streaming a crap ton of data. Here's another way to do it, is you go to the Dumb Show. And we spare no expense. If you go over to the show and you hit live show, this is probably the simplest way. It's right here. So you get chat, you get the episode, everything you need, and here we are. Now it's going to give us feedback. I got to get out of this fast before it gives us feedback. But there's the show live on the show. So see, it's simple. 3 ways. Now, the other way is to simply, Sandra, thanks for liking the stream. You can go over to Apple TV, Roku, Chromecast, Fire Stick, Fish Sticks, Apple Butter, whatever. And you just look up the Dumb Show. You download the Spreely.tv app, and then you look up the Dumb Show. I'm right there, and you watch it on your TV. Like we were watching on the 85-inch last night. So there you go. That's how it works. Do you have to sign in? Yeah, you have to, you should. If you want to chat, you should sign in for sure. But that's how you watch on Spreely. If not, just watch it on your TV. It's simple. You get a giant TV and you can watch it. All right. Once again, all the people who are liking, sharing, subscribing, thank you for doing that. Once again, link, tap, go if you want to get your name up there and donate. We would appreciate it. All right. You're certainly not going to donate unless start talking about some fun stuff. So let's do it. First topic tonight is not that. It's not that. It's not Olivia. She's not here. Olivia didn't want to be here. She's not feeling well. She's just, she's not feeling well. Leave it at that. But she came in here and wanted to go ahead and tell me about her plant. And she's like, it has too much water. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I see a charge on Apple for like $7 for an app that helps you scan a plant and figure out what's wrong with it. And I could tell her what's wrong with it. It was drier than the Sahara 2 weeks ago, and I saved it, and then it gave it too much water. But, thing wanted to drink. Karen, thanks for liking the stream. All right, so Donald Trump charged with assault and flattery. I know, what a clever play on words. The left is insane. And I'll be honest, as we get closer and closer to the election, and I know what's coming, I think we all know what's coming, it's going to be a constant, Melanie, thanks for liking, it's going to be a constant barrage of not just charity, thank you, of financial burden, criminal and judicial legislation and attacks on Donald Trump, people changing the law so they can go ahead and find a way to charge him for something. This will be constant. We know this. And you'll start seeing the late night attacks, and you'll hear the pundits come on, and then they'll start just making crap up. Thank you for everyone for liking the stream. I really appreciate it. So this is beginning, and I showed you with Jon Stewart and some of the late night talk show hosts that this was happening, and it's going to get worse. And this is a perfect example. It's so far beyond overkill. Tim, thanks for liking the stream. Because if you have him on 91 felonies and 4 different indictments, you've impeached him twice. You're going to bankrupt him for $505 million, supposedly. Why do you need to create a campaign that he smells? Why do you need to create a campaign that McDonald's grease is oozing out of his pores, like they say? Why do you need to attack him for selling shoes? Because if Donald Trump sold something that the left didn't approve of, oh my God, the whole world has to stop. And we see it all the time. But my whole comment is, if Joe Biden came out with something similar, not gold shoes, but perhaps he would come out with a 2024 solid gold big guy diaper, now with 10% more absorbency, I think the left would absolutely cackle with glee and be so excited that the dark Brandon was so clever to take an insult from the right and turn it into some sort of trolling mechanism. He could be dead serious. Joe Biden falls down and they say, well, that just shows how spry he is. He gets up without breaking a hip. If Donald Trump fell down, Donald Trump wouldn't have a hip anymore. And they will constantly do this. And here is a perfect example. By the way, Donald Trump sold $400,000 of those high tops. Let's watch this video, because this if this doesn't show you how absolutely beyond the pale they are, not much will. And you're just going to be one of those people who are completely, hi Renee, who are going to be completely entrenched, and nothing that Donald Trump can do is right. And that's fine, because I think if you ask the right, most people think that there's not much that Joe Biden can do right. So I'm gonna show you two videos. First of all, there is a breaking video that has come out that all of the liberals are flipping out about, just absolutely losing their minds. Here it is. Oh, Oliv's not here, and I'm going to go ahead and flip the audio, see? Because I remember. There it is. Donald Trump reaches out and he assaults and flatters somebody. But when you look at it from this angle, have you guys all seen the picture where it's the guy with a knife and it's his boot and he's ready to stab a guy? And then they zoom out of the picture and there's a whole nother thing going on where the guy has a gun and he's firing rounds at somebody. But the news media zoomed in just on the portion, kind of like the Weather Channel. Remember during the hurricanes? This guy's like, the hurricane's so bad. It's 175 miles an hour. Standing water is up to my neck. I'm going to drown any minute. And there's like two people walking across the street looking at him like, what the is wrong with that guy? Yeah, that's what it is. Showing you what you want to see or showing you what you don't want to see. And either one is fine, because it's going to gain attention. It's going to gain attention from the left because they're going to go ahead and say, see, I told you so. It's going to get attention from the right because the people on the right are going to say, this is crap. This isn't cool. This is why we don't appreciate the media. So when you look at it zoomed in like this and edited, and it is edited, and you can always tell if an image is like this. First, cameras don't suck like this anymore. Michael, thanks for liking the stream. So immediately, this was trimmed. You know that. And it's zoomed in to cut out crucial information. You can just see it because it's pixelated. Dan Quaid, what a name. It looks like something out of a VHS tape from 1980 with a high 8 camera. So you immediately know it's lacking information and detail. I'm going to show you the real video because this is the fake video. Watch this. Elaine, thanks for liking the stream. So that was considered by the left to be assault. Donald Trump hit a person, pushed him out of the way, violently moving him. Let's watch it again because it's like the Zapruder film. Ready? Let's go ahead and watch this again. Back and to the left. Back and to the left. One more time. Back and to the left. Anyone who knows Trump knows that he's a guy. He's a guy. This isn't a guy that, does elbow rubs during COVID. This guy gives hugs. This guy fist bumps. This guy slaps you on the back. He is a man. And that's what men do. We don't sit there and twink pinkies. We don't kiss each other on the sides of the cheek. You slap him on the back. What's up, man? How you doing? And you give him a little, what's going on, man? You give him a little grimace. Why? Because that's just because we're men. It's what we do. It's called testosterone. It's eating steak. Stampeding the women and raping the cattle. That's what we do. We're guys. And Donald Trump, most assuredly in that shot, when I first watched it, I was like, that looks aggressive. Let me find out, because I've never seen Trump do that except when someone's trying to walk in front of him. And you don't walk in front of the President of the United States, even if you're the Queen of England. Classic move by Trump. So I was taken aback. And then I watched the zoom in portion. I'm like, wait a second. This has been altered. Information is lacking. So let me show you what the real video is like. Now, this is Garrett Ventry. Garrett Ventry is obviously somebody who knows Donald Trump. And I can't play the music, so I got to stop it. Oh, wow. That looks a lot different, doesn't it? Let me mute it because, nothing like YouTube hit me on the Village People, right? They can certainly read books to our children, but we can't play that without getting royalties. Thomas, thanks for sharing the stream. Here it is again, folks. The exact same video. Not altered, not zoomed in. And Gentry has a smile on his face. He gets a double thumbs up, and then he goes, hey, bam, bam, good job, buddy. An enthusiastic double tap on the back of the shoulder. That's a Trump power move, man. Look at that. Pap, pap. There you go, bud. He doesn't get one tap. He gets two taps. He double taps him. Double tapping is a sign of massive amount of respect. He probably looked at him and said, dude, you need to change out your cornflower blue tie, but otherwise you're okay with me. What's wrong with that? How is that assault? It's assault and flattery. It's classic Trump, man. It's just who he is. It's what he does. Double tap, whack, whack. But according to the left, this insane, ridiculous, stupid left that I'm just so sick of. And I'll be honest with you. I was talking to Terry over at Spreely. He's like, we just need to find your audience. Hey, Jay, thanks for liking the stream. He's like, we need to find your audience. He's like, because sometimes, we have Shannon Joy, who's she doesn't like Trump at all. And I'm like, what do you mean? I like Trump. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, wait, I think Terry's backpedaling a little bit. I think he thinks that I don't like Trump. I think what he's saying is that I call Trump out sometimes, and people don't like that. So I need to find my audience who likes that. Screw that. I'll give something for everybody. If you're a far left type of person, there are times you'll love my show. If you're far right, there's times you'll love my show. And if you're moderate, you'll always love my show. What you won't do is love my show unless you can handle the truth. That's it. In this case, I'm finding more things hitting Donald Trump that are just bogus and complete bunk, because let me show you something which you should be offended. Matt, no, Terry knows my show. I just think he probably listen, this guy doesn't have the time. He's got like 26 different personalities. He probably watches a little bit here and there, but it wasn't a negative. It was just like, we got to find your audience. And he's got to go through millions of people and try to expose them to me. And then they're either going to love it or hate it. And if you can tell by the interaction, we're doing just fine. We may not have 2,000 people on, but between Twitter, between Rumble, between Spreely and YouTube, we're getting consistently 225, 250 people a night watching this show, and it's impacting 7,000 to 8,000 people. I'll take it. I'll take that, considering where we used to be. But that's not the point. The point is that I've got another video to show you. And this one should make you mad. And it should make you mad for a couple of reasons, but predominantly because it's the hypocrisy. I just took one damn day. One day. One day. One event. First of all, Joe Biden looks like he's 65 in this. This was like 3.5 years ago. And homeboy looks 10 times different than he does now. I mean, he has aged. Listen, I saw the way Bush aged. I saw the way Nixon, Kennedy. I've seen presidents age. Obama, even Donald Trump. They all aged not in a very good way. But nothing is like Joe Biden. I mean, he is starting to resemble Raiders of the Lost Ark when those three guys opened the Ark of the Covenant, an amalgamation of all three. The waxy Asian guy who melts, the other guys whose eyeballs pop out, and the third guy when his head explodes. All three of them put together, and you have a Joe Biden Sunday. It looks like what would happen if Star Trek and the beaming device went haywire, and somehow took a mummy, and then took the movie Cocoon, and then took Joe Biden and spliced them all together with tapioca pudding, and that's what you get. Watch this, because if you're going to say that was assault and battery, then this is sexual assault. This is a form of battery. This is a form of sexual harassment, violation of somebody's space, inappropriate touching of minors. I mean, if we really want to compare, and we really want to compare, Trump may say bad things. Fine. And according to E. Jean Carroll, who can't remember fully the CSI episode she made everything up on, this should disturb you, because this is 3 minutes flat of Joe Biden inappropriately fondling people, sniffing people, kissing people. It makes me sick. Watch this.
Happy New Year. God love you. How are you? Great to see you. Why don't you kiss me? Thank you. I don't have a doubt about it. Thank you. How are you? God love you. I know this ain't a one-man sport.
No, it's not.
It's great. Thank you all for your patience.
Grassley, what a putz.
Bring the whole family up. Come on. Come on.
I want to sniff them all.
Hi, baby. How are you? Well, good to see you. You're getting old, aren't you? Sally, how are you? You got a smile that lights up the whole Senate chamber. Good to see you.
Dude, the guy is literally the Richard Dawson of presidents. I mean, family lewd is what it should be called. It's usually 3 strikes. Here it's 175 strikes. And then you've got to toss it over to the other family. The Willises, who are waiting in the wings to see if they can steal by being creepier than Joe Biden.
Too old. We get too old and too lovely. What are you seeing?
A junior.
This
is my daughter-in-law.
Hi, Kelly. How are you? Hi, Jack. You have very good taste. Good to see you, man. You have good taste. Well, I'll tell you what. You've got very good taste, like your father. It's a pleasure to meet you. You have very good taste.
3 times. 3 times you lusted after the girl who was young enough to be your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. You sick son of a bitch. Disgusting. You got good taste. You got good taste. Hey, man, you got good taste. Listen, Grandpa, you say it one more time, I'm going to break your hip.
Come on, it's going to hurt your reputation, man.
Oh. Seriously? If you ever touch my son like that, I swear to God.
You're going to have to go home and explain. What would I do with that Democrat? Kids, come on over here, okay? You ready?
Thank you so much.
Now, you getting in this?
Hey, Timmy, have you ever seen a grown man naked? Ever been inside a Turkish prison? Well, Scraps is a boy dog, isn't he? Scraps ever come up to you and rubbing down your leg, Jimmy? Over, under? What's your Victor, Vector? What's your Clarence, Clarence? Roger, Roger? Huh? What? Airplane, go watch it. It's fantastic. You ever watch gladiator movies, Timmy?
Sure.
Do I still hold five?
Right over here. There we go. You can put it away. Pleasure to meet you.
Good. And again, please looking right here.
Okay, so tell me about you.
His wife, Holly.
Hi, Holly. How are you? Now, why don't you
Thanks, Scotty, for liking the stream.
come over to my side? You come over this side. I want you next to me. I want you next to me. My other sister, you come over this side. Other sister. Come on over this side. Okay? Come on, sis. You get right in the middle with me. You get right over here. Over this side. Mom, you get right in the middle. Come on, Dad.
Oh, dude.
There you go.
The hands.
28.
28. God, I love you.
26.
26. You look like you. I thought they were still in school. Too many beautiful girls in school.
Dude, this guy is such a lech, dude. He is such a lech.
One job, my father used to say, for real, keep the boys away from your sister. That's the job. Just remember, no serious guys in your 30s. Is this your sister? You have a hard job. You got to keep the boys away from your sister. That's the deal. Hey, Jasper, you're going to have a hard job keeping the boys away from your sister. Like you have a beautiful sister, you keep the boys away from your sister. That's the job. My dad used to say, one job, keep the guys away from your sister. My dad used to say, you got one job. I have a beautiful sister like you guys. I swear to God, he used to say, you have one job, keep the guys away from your sister.
Listen to me. If you're going to sit there and say that Donald Trump slap in the back twice, not one tap, twice, is assault, what is this? You know, you guys can sit here and pretend that this guy wasn't a plagiarist, he wasn't a racist, that this guy didn't eulogize Klan members, that this guy didn't literally try to lynch Clarence Thomas. And if he had his way and it was the 60s, would have hung him from a tree. And you're going to pretend that this guy doesn't deserve the same type of ridicule and the same type of attention that Donald Trump gets? Give me a break. Give me, if Trump did any of this, he would be crucified. They would arrest him. They would arrest him. He would have left that hall and he would have left in handcuffs. The media would have called the police and they would have arrested it right there for assault. I don't care if he's the president of the United States or not. You touch my kid that way and I'm going to knock you the fuck out. I don't care who you are. There is an appropriate way to interact with the family, and there is a way not to. Folks, there are thousands of out. This is one event. This is a 45-minute day with Joe Biden. And this guy, there is more evidence of him assaulting children and women sexually with unwanted advances, with inappropriate sexual innuendo to children, stammering around girls who are underage and saying, oh, look at you, than anything that E. Jean Carroll, the batshit crazy, I paint blue rocks in front of my house and I name my cat Tits and Vagina, than anything Donald Trump has ever done. Now, you want to go after Trump for things? Fine. Whatever. It's all about the law. Prosecute him until the cows come home. Because honestly, all you're doing is make him more popular. But this guy, This guy makes Obama look like a Nobel laureate and a saint.
You're in trouble.
So don't give me the crap that, Donald Trump, assault. So, here, let's watch the assault. The assault of that is going to bring down Donald Trump to prison time if the Democrats have anything to say about it. This unbelievable manhandling of another human being. Oh, watch it. Oh, dude, do you know what that will do to the rotator cuff? I mean, seriously, watch this again. I might even do this in slow-mo. Watch the man, his head jerk back. I guarantee you there's a couple hairs out of place from this. Watch his smack. It shakes him to the core. He's even bracing for it. His thumb from the thumbs up position is still in lockstep because he's bracing for impact. He's terrified. Look at him. Don't hit me, sir. Don't hit me, sir. Should I shake? Should I go back to a thumbs up? What should I do? It's because I'm Islamic? Look at the pain. Look at that. See his whole body shake and convulse in pain? Oh. That's going to at least take a low brow and a serious back rub to get that out of there. Complete and utter devastation. Look, he even took a picture of it. Look at this guy. He can't even move his arm. He has to use his right hand. Yes, folks, I know he's right-handed, but it doesn't matter. His right hand, his left hand is useless. From the wanton abuse of Donald J. Trump. Enough said? I mean, have we beaten this horse to death or not? You liberals are morons. Why can't you get him on the things that you pretend you should? Why can't you get him on the things that he actually did? Hit him on obstruction. Fine. Give him his frickin' fine. Get it in the books and move on, and let's have a frickin' election. Because that's all you're going to get. If you're going to get anything, it's going to be obstruction. So get him on obstruction and move the hell on. And let's have an election. But see, it's not going to stop. I told you this. I told you this wasn't going to stop. I told you 3 years ago, what did I tell you? The moment he runs, he's toast. What did I tell you? Don't you remember? Dave, thanks for liking the stream. Who's going to call in and tell me what I said? What did I say? And everyone's like, no, Matt, they're not going to do that. He's bulletproof. They're not going to do that. What did I tell you was going to happen? Go back. The phone lines are open. Somebody has the phone number. Call it. I don't even remember what the phone number is. The mods know. There, you can dial in this way too. I just put it in chat. I think I did. I did. Call my show. Also, go to Link Tap Go. You can donate. Link Tap Go /The Dumb Show. All right. Nobody wants to call and tell me. Fine, I'll do it. I'll tell you. This is what I told you. I told you that the moment that he announced for president was a mistake, that he announced too early. Because the moment that he did, and he was no longer under the protection of the DNC, all of his legal fees were no longer paid by the RNC. I told you this. I said, do not go and announce you're running till at least February, if not March. It puts pressure on Biden. It limits the primaries. You can go ahead and put yourself in the race, but even without the primaries, he doesn't need Iowa, he doesn't need New Hampshire. He could have let anyone who wanted take it. He could have come in late. It doesn't matter. The moment that you come in late, you stop the ability for all these cases to be run in a short period of time to hit the election. He had to play long game. Whoever's running his campaign gave him bad advice. Of course you come out there and you flirt. You could have ditched all the debates, which you did. You really didn't even need to do anything. In fact, you didn't do anything. You didn't campaign at all, and you still won the primaries. You didn't even need to do that. You could have played coy for a while. But instead, you announced way too early. You announced way before a year. You announced it 19 months. And what that created was the RNC to absolutely pull all funding from you because it's illegal, because it's a campaign contribution. They can no longer pay for you. Now, even when you're an out-of-office president, the Republican Party still pays for your legal fees. And every president gets that. You get Secret Service, you get some certain protections and certain rights, security briefings, whatever. And one of the things you get is you get lifetime free legal counsel. And the reason why is because if you're going to run for president, you're going to open yourself up to civil suits when you get out and other things, and people are going to come after you. So they protect their president. But the moment you announce re-election, the RNC can no longer pay your legal bills. And I told you that that was going to kill him. I told you they were going to take his assets. They were going to go after the liquidity. They were going to hit him with unbelievable, ungodly fines. And they were going to cripple him from a legal standpoint and inundate him with charges beyond reproach. And financially bankrupt him. That's what they did. And there's some things he can do. But this is exactly the MO. And after this doesn't work, the next step is the most extreme circumstance that's happened. And then it's the next step will be the more extreme than that. Until the point is, because when you're trying to stop what they call Adolf Hitler, is there anything that they shouldn't try? Is there anything off limits to stop Hitler? We talked about this last night, that every single person on here right now, if they had a time machine and they were going to go ahead and change like 10 things in history, I'm pretty confident most people somewhere on that timeline would stop into Nazi Germany or 20 years beforehand and bring a pillow and visit one Adolf Hitler. Pretty sure. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that they are not going to use every opportunity they can to stop Donald Trump, you're seeing it, including assault and battery for tapping a guy on the back twice. I told you this is what was going to happen. I told you this is what the DNC was going to do. The moment he stepped out of office, they were going to absolutely destroy him from a legal perspective. And that's what happened. And they waited. They waited until he announced, and then they released the hounds and the dogs of war. They released hell on him. Multiple states, multiple investigations, warrants served, literally armed interventions into his private property, embarrassment, lies, leaked testimony, leaked indictments that are sealed by the state were released to newspapers. Whatever they could to destroy him. And they won't stop. And people are buying it up hook, line, and sinker. Completely inundated with the lust to destroy Donald Trump. That's what we got. Thank you, Deborah. Amy has a question. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's your question? Give it. By the way, I'm putting a link in the chat, link tap go. If you want to tip to the show, donate to the show, help out, make sure we continue to be free, because that's what we absolutely want to do. You can go to link tap go and click the donate or the tip button. If you tip, you get on the live show right now. You get your name up there. You can put a funny little GIF or something like that. Link tap go /The Dumb Show. Click tip, click donate, or just go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. All of that is cool too. Diane, if you're freezing because you comment, that's your platform. It's not us. Go ahead with your question real quick. Let's get it in there, Amy. I'm waiting for you. And then we'll move on to the next segment. But isn't that ridiculous? A guy, my son walked in the door today and I gave him the same thing, slap on the back. Is that child abuse? Should I be going to prison because I abuse my children because I tap him on the back? We have a responsibility to at least tell the truth in this country still. Who sees that and gets upset? Liberals, that's who. Because when you are so incensed, when you hate somebody so much, even their sheer existence of breathing upsets you. Come on, we all know these people. There's people you remember from high school. There's actors you don't like. There's musicians who, like, I don't even remember her name. What's the girl from something about Mary? Cameron Diaz. I can't stand Cameron Diaz. Everything about her. The way she looks, the way she talks, her hair. The only time she was actually somebody who I was like, wow, she's really pretty, is in The Mask. Gorgeous in The Mask. Still hated her acting. Can't stand Cameron Diaz. I can't stand the Fugees, who rip off other people's music and then rewrite it, and somehow they win an effing Grammy for 13 songs that somebody else wrote. It's called cover bands. They do it all the time. Can't stand those people. But their existence doesn't literally make me uncomfortable. But that's the problem, is that even Trump, no matter what he does, no matter what he says, cure for cancer, gives $500,000 to charity. Oh, it's not enough. Gives his salary as president. Oh, it's just a ploy. There is no positive intent when it comes to him. So therefore, everything he does is evil and wrong. All right, question we had. The commercial going around about Trump, what is the context of these ad campaigns of Trump talking about Haley's hubby being gone? Listen, I've addressed this. Here are my thoughts when it comes to Nikki Haley and Donald Trump. Nobody hated her 9 months ago. Everyone hates her now. Nobody hated DeSantis. Everyone hates her now. This is politics. And until she drops out of the race, people are going to continue to say things. But you know what? They called her bird brain. They insulted her ethnicity. The question is, she was trying to hide who she was. They called her a warmonger. You heard all the crap that I did. They drew first blood long before Donald Trump did. She called Donald Trump and asked him to run. And you even heard what Donald Trump said. Yeah, sure. At least she called me and had respect. Unlike DeSantis, then he hit DeSantis. Is she saying things now that are, in our opinions, untrue? Were we there? No. But these are the things that are out in the ether, and it's going to pull independents towards her. And it's going to pull libertarians towards her. And this is why Trump should have been at the debates and put these things to bed, because now she's going to use the liberal playlist against him. You guys don't like Nikki Haley because he told you not to like Nikki Haley. You loved DeSantis 9 months ago. You wanted him to be. I even saw all the shirts and the posters, man. I even almost made them and sold them. DeSantis, Trump 2024. Trump, DeSantis 2024. And then DeSantis was disloyal. Now he's a traitor. And like I said, it's funny. You guys don't go after Marjorie Taylor Greene or Lauren Boebert, who both voted for Kevin McCarthy and didn't show up for the vote. But they're true Republicans, and everyone else is a rhino. This is what gets me in trouble. This is why I don't have a million frickin' people watching my show, because I just tell you the truth. I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to point out the hypocrisy. Ron DeSantis was the great white hope. It was supposed to be him in 2028. That's what you all wanted. Then he ran for president. You go, nope, he's a piece of crap. He's evil. He's a George Soros plant. He's a liberal. What? He's a liberal? Nikki Haley's a liberal? But you want Tulsi Gabbard to run for vice president? Are you insane? Tulsi Gabbard? Little Miss can't be Republican or Democrat, but she's a progressive? What if Nikki loses South Carolina? Nikki is going to lose South Carolina. And I told you she was going to lose South Carolina. And I told you the only chance she had was New Hampshire. But she doesn't need to win. She only needs 15%. And if she wins 15%, do you really think Donald Trump's going to pick somebody who's going to give him nothing? Kristi Noem brings him the Trump vote. The only pick that I've heard, even Vivek, brings him the Trump vote. It's not going to bring him DeSantis supporters. It's not going to bring him Nikki Haley supporters. It's not going to bring him Chris Christie supporters. It's not going to bring him blue-collar Democrats or moderate Biden supporters. Ben Carson will bring him some of that, but he's already doing fairly well in the black vote. He needs to bring in females and white college-educated males. That's what he needs. That's what he lost in 2020. 7% of the vote, 3% female, 4% male went to Biden. 2016, 2020, he remained flat on the male and female vote. I don't care about all the other demographics. College educated, non-educated, black, Hispanic, oil workers, union, none of that. Men, women. He lost 4% of the male vote, 3% of the female vote. And you're like, how did he lose it, Matt? He did better than ever. You're not listening. 2016 to 2020, he didn't gain a percentage, lose a percentage of the vote. He gained in other areas. They both gained in male and female votes because more people voted than in ever any other election by 61 million some odd extra votes. But out of those 61 million, Joe Biden gained 4% in males and 3% in females. How do you get that vote? You don't get it from Kristi Noem. You don't get it from Vivek. You don't get it from Daniels. A little bit from Daniels maybe, but a lot of those are MAGA supporters. You get it from Ben Carson because Ben Carson brings you that educated male, predominantly African-American and white college educated, and a lot of suburb females. You know what brings you more? Nikki Haley, because those are the people who are voting for Nikki Haley. It's not all Democrats. That's stupid. That is the dumbest thing you've ever said. Look at the vote she got in Iowa, 20%. They were all Democrats. No, they weren't. Oh, New Hampshire was all Democrats. No, it wasn't. It was less than 1% of the overall vote. Donald Trump can sit there and say she got her butt kicked in Iowa. No. She overperformed in Iowa. New Hampshire, she overperformed. She's going to get her butt kicked in South Carolina, but she's still going to overperform what she should do against an incumbent MAGA-supporting president. It's Donald Trump. It's the second best thing to an incumbency. That's why they want her out so bad, because the longer she stays in, the longer she gets to Super Tuesday, the more prominent she becomes, because if she has 15% of the vote, and that's my prediction, anywhere between 12 and 15% of the vote on Super Tuesday, if she gets that, that's what Donald Trump needs to win. And not just win, but kick the living crap out of Biden. It doesn't matter whether you like her. That's immaterial. You're big fans of Dan Quayle, huh? You guys are Mike Pence fans? Mike Pence delivered the election for Donald Trump because he gave him the Christian conservatives that he lost with the grab him by the hoo-ha comment. Kamala Harris delivered it to Joe Biden and delivered the Carolinas, even though those racist comments came out, and her comments during the debate did him massive damage with the black vote. Liz, thanks for following the show. When those comments took place, Kamala Harris was called in to bring in because she's a female, because she's black, and that brought him those key 3 states. Because Trump was very popular in 2016. He won North and South. He's very popular in South Carolina. Joe Biden was losing when he came into those 2 states. He got his butt kicked in Wisconsin and Michigan. It was Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders who were in the lead. That split the vote by 2%. I think it was like 33, 31%. Joe Biden was sucking hind tit at like 6.5, 7 points, maybe 12 in Wisconsin, Michigan. The vice president is immaterial after Election Day. But before it, they don't vote for the vice president, but they certainly will stay home because of it. I've said it 100 times. LBJ gave Kennedy the South. Dan Quayle made George Bush look somewhat normal with the elites and the Ivy Leaguers, the college-educated white males. Dan Quayle delivered them. Sarah Palin was tapped because McCain was an effing dinosaur. So they brought a hot chick from Alaska to get the younger movement and to get the females in because they didn't like McCain. This isn't about a popularity contest. This is about who can deliver Donald Trump the most votes and give him key states, predominantly minority, female, and college-educated males. And let's face it, those females that won't vote for Trump, their husbands follow them. Those college-educated males, those betas, their women control them. And you're damn skippy that every time they would go into that voting booth, they're thinking the following: happy life, happy wife. And the truth is, most rural wives follow their husbands. And that's the truth. And that's what the voting demographic says. So does it mean that I say Nikki Haley has to be vice president? That's not what I said. I said 3 years ago, there would be two choices for president. It would be, in my opinion, either Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley on each other's tickets. Or DeSantis would be VP or Nikki Haley would be VP with Trump. Those are your choices. That's exactly what took place. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I was wrong, because I'm not. And he very well may not choose Nikki Haley. But I'm telling you this, for all MAGA supporters, you guys won't care 5 minutes after he does it. He's going to be like Nikki Haley, and be like, oh, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting. You'll be there at the next rally. The people who vote for Trump will never leave him. But the people who will never vote for Trump will only come to his side for a reason. And Donald Trump will never be that reason. It's not Nikki bringing in Democrat votes. Why do you think Democrats are voting for Nikki Haley? Why is that lie something you believe? Please give me specific examples, Darla, of what the percentage of Democrats who voted for her in New Hampshire, Iowa, and who are planning to vote for her in South Carolina. And be careful, because that's a trick question. Elaine, I never said you did. Elaine, why would you think I'm talking to you? I'm not. I didn't say every single woman. The electorate is based upon percentages. And the percentages of rural housewives follow their husband's lead. These are the people that allow their husband to decide about a roofer or decide what investments they make. And there's nothing wrong with that. The women are incredibly strong and raised family, and it is a different world and a different lifestyle. And college-educated males marry for different reasons. They don't marry for an alpha perspective. According to the numbers, they follow their wife's lead. Whether that's you or not is immaterial, because I guarantee on any given Sunday, I can say 700 things that would piss you off if you apply it to you on this show. It's not applied to you. You're a Donald Trump supporter. You love Trump. You're watching this show. I don't think you asked your permission of your husband to watch this show. If you still is in your life and all that, I don't know, Elaine. I know you, but I don't know what's going on with your home life. Just because I make a statement that's based upon percentages and an overall high-level view of what consistently the numbers say doesn't mean it applies to you. So let's not take that personally. Does Trump have to wait until Nikki steps down to announce his VP pick? It's smart. It's smart because Donald Trump, why do you think Donald Trump's waiting? You guys tell me that. Why is he waiting? What's he waiting for? If he announces his VP right now and Nikki Haley doesn't have one, he can absolutely destroy her with that. I've already picked my VP. Nikki, why haven't you? Because she's still trying to be relevant in this race. Why wouldn't Donald Trump pick his VP? Well, one, it's because it's usually saved for the convention. But two, she can still win the primary. At least from a standpoint enough to make a stink at that convention and have enough delegates to have a contested election and a contested convention. Look at Ronald Reagan. Go look back in 1976, Ronald Reagan, and what he did at the RNC. Go look at what Ted Cruz did at the RNC. Look what Bernie Sanders did to Hillary Clinton at the DNC. If she comes out with a few hundred delegates or more, we're talking 600, 700, 800 delegates, you can have a contested convention. She can force a floor vote at that point. A third party could come in. So why wouldn't Trump announce? Well, because first, Trump's in the lead, and he doesn't need to do anything. He can sit back. But he's also waiting to see where she comes in Super Tuesday. You need to understand, if she pops 35% of the vote in South Carolina, that's a win for her. It doesn't matter that it's her home state. It's one of Trump's biggest havens. It's one of his biggest states. She takes 35% of that vote. That's enough for Trump to look at that and go, oh, I got to offer her a cabinet position. I got to go ahead and trade ponies with her. Does she seem acquiesced to trading right now with him? Does she seem like she's out of control to you? Or does it look like she's completely has a plan and she's executing it A, B, C, D, E, F, G? And Trump is not hitting her that hard. Yes, she does bring in Democrat votes. She brings in moderate Democrats. But most importantly, she brings in unregistered voters who'd be excited by her, who have left the process because they're disenfranchised with Biden and Trump. See, this is called political analysis. It's not personal. If Donald Trump was sitting across from me, and he wouldn't be, but if he was, I'd tell him the exact same thing. I would say, let me ask you a question. What does all of the people you mentioned, Vivek Ramaswamy, Kristi Noem, Carrie Lake, Daniels, what do these people bring you? Vivek Ramaswamy, what do they bring you? And Donald Trump would say, well, they would bring me a very large portion of voters that voted for them in the primary. No, that's not what it does. Vivek got less than 4% of the vote. Carson hasn't even been on the stage. Noem, she's not running. Carrie Lake, she can't even win governor. She probably can't even win Senate. Daniels, he's already got a position. He's not on the campaign trail. DeSantis won't take it. He's still saying that. He's screaming it from the rooftops. And then I would ask him the question, if you vote for someone that your supporters don't want, are you going to lose votes? And Donald Trump would definitely say no. Great. Then which one of those candidates brings you votes? Who brings you the most? Let's assume that 10% of Nikki Haley and her 15% votes come over to your side and brings you 1.5 million votes. Because it's more than that. I want you to look at this. 180 million people, roughly, voted in the last election. You bring in 10% of that. That's 18 million votes. Now, how many voted for Republican? Now, that's where we need to consider. So you look at the 71. Let's assume the same amount of people are going to vote. They're not going to. It's not even going to be close to that. It's not even going to get close to 180, 160, 170 million people. It not even close. Without mail-in ballots, it ain't going to happen. So let's assume we go back to the days of old. Around 120 million to 125 million people vote. That's going to be a record, by the way. But let's say that that's what takes place. And out of those voters, it holds to the current Democrat/Republican third-party candidate ratio to proportion, where about 43 to 45, 46% is split between one stack to Republican and Democrat. And then you have the independent, the third-party candidate, Green Party candidate, who's going to take anywhere from 5 to 7%. And then Mickey Mouse and Ronald Reagan dug up with a space heater are going to win the rest of it, right? So let's just give 42% out of that 123 million. So you're talking what, 60 million go to Republicans, like 57, 60 million. 15% of that, that's 8 million votes. 8 million votes Donald Trump gets. That not only does that win him the election, it wins him the popular vote. It wins him the election, that's not going to happen. He's not going to gain 8 million votes. So let's just say out of that 15%, that 8 million, he gains, because Nikki Haley gets on the ticket, let's just say he gets a quarter of that. He just gets a quarter of that 8 million. So he gets 2 million votes. If this was 2020, he lost by 90,000 votes in 3 states. That gives him at least 4 to 5 states and gives him 1.9 million more votes than he would need to win. You tell me, how's Nikki Haley looking now? That's why Donald Trump hasn't picked a VP. Because he's still leaving it there with Nikki. Even though he's hitting her, even though he says those little things like bird brain, and even though he goes, well, I made that decision pretty clear That's Donald Trump. He's playing the boat. Because remember, he went after Vivek. He went after DeSantis. Remember Chris Christie? I like him more now that he's dropped out. Donald Trump is playing the game. He is a politician. And you can say he's not a politician. He's a politician now. He has ran for 2 presidential elections. This will be his 3rd. He has held the highest office in the land. He has fundraised more than any other Republican in history. He owns the largest demographic and database of phone numbers and emails of Republican donors than any other in the world. Donald Trump's a politician. And as a politician, you can trust one thing. He's going to make a political choice. So he's waiting. If Nikki Haley comes in with 12% of the vote in South Carolina and then Super Tuesday gets frickin' just destroyed. And I'm not talking that Trump wins in a landslide. That's fine. If she gets 15%, 12 to 15% of the vote, that's a win for her. That'll single-handedly be the most a vice president who ran against the future incumbent or future selectee for president ever in U.S. history. There has never been a vice president. LBJ didn't get those amount of votes at all. You pick a vice president for what they can give you, period. And there hasn't been a vice presidential candidate like this in a long time. And it creates a dilemma for Trump. So he'll make the right decision. And all of the MAGA supporters will suck it up. Every one of them. You know what they'll say? Oh, Nikki Haley, she's a war hawk. She's a neocon. Trump, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why'd you do this? Because you know what? You guys got over Bolton when he picked Bolton, who's one of the biggest neocons in the frickin' world. You guys didn't have a problem with Barr. You didn't have a problem with Jeff Sessions. Half the people that Donald Trump picked for his administration and his cabinet were all neocon replants from George Bush days. None of you said shit about that. You didn't care. You got over it. You'll get over this. So he announces Nikki. You're going to hate him for 2 weeks. And then guess what? You're going to be like this. Oh, come on. Well, Nikki's not that bad. Remember, she was a great ambassador. That's what you're going to do. And everyone, all of you, everyone, I hate Nikki. You're going to love Nikki Haley. Because you're going to see her get up on that stage with Donald Trump in that pretty dress with that pretty smile and that pretty face. And he's going to fill a gap. She's going to fill a gap. And people will see it, especially the voters who want it, and say, I can't vote for Biden, but I could vote for Donald Trump because at least Nikki Haley's there and it's not Kamala Harris. All you got to do is look at Kamala versus Haley, and even you love Haley 10 times more than Kamala. And when you look at Trump and Biden, you love Trump 100 times more than Biden. How does that ticket not make sense? I'm sick of trying to convince you guys. Let's just watch and see what happens. Reading some comments here. We haven't had a chance to. Matt, I didn't take it personally. I love your show. Good. Don't take it personally. Because I'm not saying that you guys are automatons and can't vote and make up your own mind. I'm just letting you know that people make impact, especially spouses. Tim Scott is on with Trump being interviewed by Ingram. In my opinion, he'll be I think that Tim Scott is a horrible pick for VP. Horrible pick. I think it's just a horrible pick. I like Tim Scott. I love what he said today. I thought it was great. I think he's a horrible pick. I think that's a mistake. Huge mistake. Massive mistake. At least go with Ben Carson. Too many people know Scott. I hope RFJ Jr. takes votes from Biden. He's going to take votes from Biden and Trump. Roxanne, thanks for liking the stream. Thanks for explanation. Makes sense to me now. Good. Matt, it doesn't matter. Our country is in trouble. Right. It's absolutely in trouble, and we've got to make a decision. I don't like hickeys. Yeah, I know. Me neither. Oh, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Nikki. Yeah, that'd be a good campaign line, huh? All right. Good to have everybody on. Quick commercial. We're at the top of the hour, and we'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, Donut for Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Donut for Me podcast. It's interesting. I've had these books for, 3 years now, and I've got... 3 independent books of the Declaration, the Bill of Rights, and the Constitution of the United States that I inherited from my mother, leather bound, beautiful, and they're older books, 1935, 1937, something to that effect. I'll show them on the show, but people see me reference these nightly on the show. And the interesting thing is I've never really put two and two together. We have a website, and someone asked last night, hey, how the heck do I get those books? Where do I get those books? And it dawned on me that I should provide these. So they are now on sale. They're beautiful books. They're leatherette books. They're hardback, which is nice. They don't have a dust cover or anything. I've used these, like I said, ad nauseum.
Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it, buddy.
They hold up and they stand the test of time. They've got pictures of the framers, founders, inside the books. They make references with different colors to kind of explain things in a little bit of a simpler way or give some context. But these books, word for word, are the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence. They are absolutely stunning. You get each book individually for $15.99 over at thedumbshow.com. We also have a bundle over there where you can save $5 on all three for $44.99. And last but not least, the pictures you've just been looking at and the video is the Documents of Freedom, custom made by PFC Flags, comes in an amazing, beautiful, decorative box for $64.99. Stop by thedumbshow.com and take a look. They're available right now.
All right, folks, thanks for doing that. And Thomas, thank you for the donation. Very kind, very generous. I think that puts you in like fourth. If you guys actually go to the page at Link Tap Go and you go right here, you can actually see where everyone stands. I'm interested to look real quick. So if you go to the tips page, Thomas, that will put you when you come in. Oh, yeah, you're tied with Ernest. So thank you. Kevin, the number one this month at 150. So thanks everyone for helping. This keeps the show on, keeps the lights on. If you haven't had a chance, go to Link Tap Go. You can help us out. All right, let's get to the second topic. The best and worst interview in U.S. How do you donate? Vicky, you go to Link Tap Go. It's right here. Link Tap Go /The Dumb Show. You type that in, and then you'll see donate and tip. Tip is the easiest way, but it'll show up here, and everyone will get to see that you tipped. If you want to do it confidentially, you can just go to donate and give it in PayPal if you'd like to. Any number is great. We appreciate you. We love you. Vicky, I got a hold of the post office also, and we're working on getting your we're remaking it. Jason's making it. We're going to ship it back out to you. And then also your books, Christine, we're getting you taken care of as well. We talked about that in your email. All right, let's get to it. Another video. Go figure. Love watching our videos. We got to go to Twitter for this one. This was pretty funny. This is an interview / congressional oversight / a witness who had some things to say. And this one's interesting. So let me get this for you.
Correct.
And pull this up. And I want you to listen to this. And I'm not going to tell you what her role is until after. Okay? And then you can listen to it. Hey, Kay, thanks for sharing. We appreciate you doing that. Let's listen to this. It's about 5 minutes. JD, I've got your $10 below that. I need to combine them. I thank you, JD. I got
We
you.
support a two-state solution.
Okay. Have you looked at that objectively?
What do you mean, have you looked at it objectively?
Have you analyzed that objectively?
This is something that we do support, yeah.
That's not an answer. Have you analyzed a second Palestinian state objectively? Have you analyzed it objectively?
Wow. My kanji and katakana are off. I apologize, my friend. That went by too fast. Maybe 25 years ago. Let's just assume that your name is Suguri Yamamoto. And that's all I can. That's all. I don't know what else to say to you. Kambanwa. What time is it? Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Have I personally analyzed it?
You don't know what it means to objectively analyze something?
Know what it means subjectively.
Okay, so have you done that?
No, I have not. If I understand your question.
You might not be, because I can't believe that you would answer it in that way. Let me just start over. You're here representing support for a Palestinian state, correct?
Yes.
Have you analyzed that support objectively?
Yes.
But you just said no. So
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Okay.
I thought I made it pretty simple, but you said no. But I'll grant you that now you said yes, you have looked at it objectively.
Well, you guys, somebody came in. You didn't see the front of the screen, obviously. Someone came in from Japan and followed the page, and it was in katakana. So I was trying to read his name and say it to y'all, but I am so out of practice with kanji and katakana, I can't read it. So I said Suguru Yamamoto, assuming that was his name, because that's a fairly decent guess. I probably have a 1 in a couple thousand chance, but Yamamoto is a fairly popular name in Japan. And then I was going to say good morning, and then I don't know what time it was. So what's confusing? Seriously, you got to follow along. Pick it up.
So, having looked at it objectively, which I would assume somebody in your position does, who would you assess would lead Palestinians?
Mike Blankman says, Matt, I hacked Vicky's Ring doorbell and caught some interesting footage of her smashing that box with a bat. I know she did. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt.
Pick a group. You can name a group, but I'm saying Hamas, Palestinian Authority, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Fatah, some other group. Who would lead it?
I think that has to be something that's considered. I don't think I'm in a position to say.
Who did you objectively assess would lead it in determining you have support for a Palestinian state?
I don't think that I can answer that question. I think this is part of a larger discussion.
But you objectively assess that you support a Palestinian state.
I do support
in objectively assessing that. Who do you assess would lead that state? What group that does not receive military support from, say, Iran, do you assess would lead that state?
I understand your question, but I think I would have to have a little. I don't feel comfortable saying that without.
Have you not assessed what group would lead it? Have you or have you not assessed who would become the leader of that Palestinian state?
This is part of a larger discussion.
But have you or have you not assessed that?
I have. This is a part of a larger discussion. I don't think. I can't answer that question.
You can't answer whether you have or have not assessed who would lead the state?
I cannot answer a question about me, particularly what.
Then you don't believe in a two-person... A two-state solution, you're going to need someone to lead that government outside of Hamas. I think we've realized that project has failed. I even think Palestinian supporters have understood that Hamas has failed, because there's not going to be any of them left, because Israel's going to ensure that they're all dead. And when that takes place, who is going to run Gaza Strip and West Bank as a Palestinian state? Who? It's a real simple question to answer. You've only got like two choices.
Think what it should be. I mean, I think that's part
you
of
came here and said there should be a Palestinian state. Have you or have you not assessed who would lead that? Just yes or no. Have you looked at who would lead it, or have you not?
I support a two-state solution.
I know you said that numerous times. Have you or have you not assessed who would become the leader of that state? Fatah, Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Palestinian Authority, somewhere else. Have you assessed who it would be?
I don't feel comfortable.
Holy shit, Vicky. Thank you. My God, girl. Vicky, thank you so much. You can break any box you want. I don't give a crap what Mike Blankman says. She just took the lead. Thank you for the donation. You're amazing. That will keep the lights on for a little bit. We appreciate it. We love you. Thank you, Vicky. You're always such a good friend of this show. You're incredible. We love you. Thank you. Gosh darn. Woo! I gotta have like a sound or something. It's just. I wish Olivia was here. She's not here. Without Olivia, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. It deserves something. Really, I have just a bunch of smart aleck. I don't know. I don't know what to put. I can't do Hillary Clinton. That's not good. I'm trying to find you a really good sound. Hold on. I'm not going to give up here. I've got something, I'm sure. No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything good. Where's all my beautiful sounds that I had programmed in this thing? I'm sorry. I don't have anything. I'm a failure. I've got some Trump stuff. No, I can't. There's nothing I can play that's worth it. Oh, no, that's not going to work. No, I just got to tell you I love you. That's it. You're the best. Thanks.
Sorry, I don't feel comfortable.
You don't feel comfortable saying.
Blow a horn. I'm trying. I can't find anything. Oh, no. No, where are all my sound? My whole boards are. I mean, I could do this. I mean, that's kind of the way I felt. I'm not going to lie. What did my wife do with all my sounds? Damn it, Livia. I mean, I have got a ton of...
fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic, but that's not good enough. We need something. So here... That's what Vicky is. She's bad at the bone. Oh, well, I guess, Yeah, that's not as good as it should be. There should be something more than that. I don't have anything else. I mean, she is the bomb. I mean, do that. I need to get more sounds on here. That's what I need to do. We can give you Praise Allah. Thank Allah. By Rashid Tlaib, but that doesn't really do it very well either. Huh. Well, there it is. We love you. Let's watch.
If you have assessed something.
No, what I don't feel comfortable is making a statement when I think it's part of a larger discussion.
Don't even say who it is. Just answer, have you assessed it?
Kevin's pissed. Kevin's like, I was number one. Now I got to up my game. Come on, Kevin. You going to let her do you like that?
Assessed who would lead it?
Put it this way. There will be an assessment of this question within the U.S. government in terms of who we think
came
should,
here supporting something you have not assessed.
I'm not in a position right now to say what that is because I think this is...
Vicky, you're going to have to rewind this. I'm literally like, I'm speechless. That's the first time that's ever happened. Elaine, we love you. Things are going to be okay. Remember. Yeah, I'm speechless. We love you. Yes, I got it, Vicky. You're amazing. Thank you so much. You are loved. All right, here we go.
Part of a larger discussion.
Honestly, it's amazing. I think it goes back to your original statement, which was probably the correct one, that you have not objectively looked at this, and you got it right when you said that. I'm going to move on to another question.
Part of what the U.S. government wants to do.
You're supposed to be the part of the U.S. government that does that.
I am part of the U.S. government, but I'm not going to say what the government should do.
I have more time. Sorry. I have more questions, so I apologize. So do you assess that a Palestinian state would be more likely to be designated as a major non-NATO ally like Israel or Egypt, or would you assess that they would have to be labeled a state sponsor of terror?
I can't answer that question.
Have you assessed that?
These are questions that I'm not in a position to answer.
I'm asking if you are in the position to answer if you have...
Carrie, that's enough. We don't... Listen, if you can't afford to give, it doesn't make me care about you any less. Carrie, I treat everyone the same. And if Vicky was being a turd, I would tell her she was a turd. In fact, I think I have told her she's a turd before. I love you guys all the same. It's not about money for me. I appreciate it. It's nice, and I love it, and it makes me feel good that you guys can give. But trust me, you guys know how I am. I give when I can too, and I appreciate you. It keeps the lights on. It keeps the show going. It lets me know that we can keep it free, and that's what we want to do. So we love you. Thank you, everybody. And it's not just Vicky. It's everybody who buys a shirt or just watches the show. You're appreciated, okay? You got it.
Assessed whether that would be the case. You came here sitting before Congress saying you are here representing the idea that there should be a Palestinian state.
I sent the order in today, Janet, just FYI.
You looked at it objectively, which you probably didn't, and I'm asking if you assessed that. So you can answer whether you assessed something or not.
What I can answer is this is part of a discussion that I don't think that I should be making those decisions or answering these questions right now.
Answering what you don't think you should answer whether you assess something is amazing. Let me ask one more question.
Thanks for following,
Why
Catherine.
do you think that we should make a country out of a people that just conducted a Jewish genocide 4 months ago?
What? I'm not.
You guys, this is not a competition. You don't need to be the biggest giver, okay? Knock it off or I'm going to turn these donations off. Don't ruin it. Don't make this something that is Sherry, thanks for following. I've seen other channels do this where people get into this competition game to donate. Don't. I don't want that. I don't want anything like, keep that money. If you want to give it because you like what we do here, great. If you want to give it because you can afford to, that's wonderful. Don't make it a competition, even in jest, because it just devalues somebody doing something really, really cool, and there's no need. There's no competition. You're all, listen, here, I've said this a million times. You all are winners before you were even born. You were the first sperm to get where they wanted to go. So you're already a winner. You've already won the race. Everything else is gravy after this, okay? So you don't need to be competitive. Cool? Good.
What you're asking there.
Can I have time to repeat the question for her, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Since she doesn't understand.
I object.
She
Mr.
asked
Chairman,
me for a
Mr.
clarification.
Chairman, the time limit has occurred.
So the question, to repeat it, since you said you don't understand
Mr. Chairman, I
is,
continue to object.
why do you want to make a country
Mr.
of a
Chairman.
people that just conducted a Jewish genocide? I
Mr.
think I said
Chairman.
it very clearly. Please answer.
I'm not going to respond to a question about that one. Sorry. I don't feel like I want to answer your question. I really do, but I just don't feel like I'm in the position right now that I can answer those type of questions. This is a question that's going to be just this is a question for the U.S. government, and
You're the U.S. government.
Yes,
but
I know. but
Undoubtedly, you
we
cannot
haven't-
answer.
We're still.
Thank you, Mr.
making
Chairman,
decisions.
Yeah, just in charge of arms control, you know? Nothing important. Not an assigned position, non-elected position. You know, nothing important. Here's what it comes down to. We talked about this last night, too. We talked about it last night. Thomas, I don't think you're understanding what I just said about the donations. There's people arguing and getting competitive about it. And I don't want any of that. So no, it shouldn't be a competition because there's some people who. This is a perfect example. That video we just watched. That isn't a competition. That is a slaughter. That is somebody who does not have the capability of public speaking, and they have no business doing that. And whoever is in charge of her, which I think it would be DOD, should have made sure that that person wasn't there. Because that is not you're taking a college educated, a person who is extremely intelligent and understands the facts, and that representative, and a person who is incapable of competing in that arena, who is doing a disservice to our government, our foreign policy, and every single foreign country in the world just watch that, and it's embarrassing. Now, how does that compare to donations? There's some people who can afford to give $1. There's some people who can afford to give $1 million. There's some people who can afford to give $10,000. I don't want anyone to feel bad because they can give nothing or give $1 or give $100 or give $1,000. Because all of it is something, and all of it is you're giving me your time. In the very least, some people have been watching me for 3 years, and you've watched hundreds of ads, and I get paid for that. Some of you have given me a kind word when I'm having a down night or it's just bad and I want to quit. Some of you have reached out to other members and provided them money so they have a hotel room and I don't even know about it. Or you gave them money for rent or food
or shoes. So if you think I don't know that, I don't. I don't ever want giving to be a competition. I don't want anyone in church to stand up and go, I gave 100. What are you guys going to do? Because it's not a donation is a personal thing between the viewer and me. And even though it's on display, it should be a cause of celebration, right? Everybody, if you can help, great. If you can't, you're already helping in other ways. That's all I'm trying to say. So I appreciate what you're saying. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. Maybe the dollar signs are going to stop coming in, and I don't care because I never want it to be a competition. People give what they can give, and that means the world to me. Okay, so I humbly say thank you. Okay, good. That conversation is not only embarrassing, but you have a person who is dictating foreign policy. Without saying a word. Your lack of an answer is dictating policy. It's like the people who refuse to answer a question that's hard and difficult, like gun control or abortion, and skirt around it and stay away from it, ultimately are giving an answer by giving a non-answer. She supports a two-state solution, and she is 100% comfortable, along with this administration, with allowing Iran to run a proxy and attack Israel because it justifies their $3.3 billion annually that we give them. I guess. It's a simple question. Is the PIJ going to do it? Are the Syrians going to do it? IRGC? Are the Egyptians going to step up? Is it going to be an Islamic country that steps up? Is it going to be Hezbollah? Is it going to be a splinter faction of Hamas in the West Bank? Who's going to do it? Who's going to run it? You know who's going to run it? Israel's going to run it. And Israel's going to rebuild it. And Israel is going to go ahead and say that this is no longer a threat to any Israeli citizen, and we will slowly allow to matriculate people back into this society who are willing to follow the standards of the Israeli government and this land. At this point, I'm sorry, conquering territory is not a thing of the past. It is the one consistent thing throughout history. And I'm sorry that it doesn't feel good to people. I'm sorry that it bothers people, but it's been going on since the dawn of time. It's been going on since sticks and rocks. It's been going on since we were doing cave paintings. Conquering and conquest is a staple in the world, and there is no place free of it. And that land has been conquered and taken and changed hands so many damn times. What is the difference between now and 1948? What's the difference between 1948 and 1836? There isn't any. So although it feels uncomfortable and we get to see it live and on TV, and that sucks, and I feel bad for those children. I feel horrible for those Palestinian kids, and I feel horrible for the Israeli parents and the Israeli kids. But there is only one country who is raising terrorists. There is only one area in Gaza that is having people want to kill Jews at a very young age and are taught to kill Jews, where 91% of the population believes that Israel is the devil, the enemy, and they deserve death. Okay? 91 fucking percent. Sorry I cussed. I'm sorry. If Canadians started lobbing, freaking Molotov pucks with their hockey sticks and were hitting all over the United States and killing innocents, I'm going to say, okay, I don't care how much I'm empathetic with your hockey teams that suck. It's time to flatten Canada. I love your syrup. I love Hasselhoff, but it's time for Canada to go. Thank you for Bryan Adams. Thank you for Celine Dion. Thank you for Ryan Reynolds. But you all need to go now. That's it. This is conquest. It's been going on since the dawn of time. Nothing's going to change. Israel is done. I told you they were going to take the gloves off. They took the gloves off. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. You don't have to like it. It sucks. Death sucks. What happened? What do you think happened in Iraq? Are you guys that far removed from watching Iraq 1 and sawing? Did you see what we did? Did you even watch CNN? Do you think those were guided bombs we were dropping in there? You think those were laser guided munitions we were dropping? We were dropping Volkswagen from space. 40,000 feet. We were dropping bombs that could level a block. But it's okay when we do it. Why? Well, because Saddam Hussein murdered 300,000 Kurds. Oh, well, what's better than 300,000 Kurds? 300,000 Iraqis. Give me a break, people. This isn't the first. This isn't the last. This isn't the only. And yes, we can feel bad for it, but Israel has every right to protect its sovereignty, and that's what they're doing. And they warned them, no more. We did work furlough programs for 71,000 Gazans and Palestinians. We brought you in as you mapped our country. You mapped the weakness of our gates. You plotted an insertion of epic proportions that killed 1,700 some odd people. Took innocent civilians, women and children, and raped them and took them hostage, and you still haven't given them back. You used the financial aid and money that they gave you. Instead of building irrigation and building infrastructure, you build bombs and rockets. Instead of giving children milk and a toy, you gave them grenades and you gave them a Kalashnikov and said, hate Israel. The problem with Palestine and its supporters is they're so freaking myopic in their thinking, the only thing they need to do is look in the mirror when they want someone to blame. Well, guess what? After 17 years, Israel said, no more. I'm done. Guess what? This is what you get. Fuck around and find out. Sorry for the language. Sorry for the language. Twice I've said the F word. You guys can dox me if you want. You forgot to thank us for Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon knows where the money's at. Nathan McKinnon knows where the money's at. All right. Last one, and I'm going to go kiss my wife because she's not feeling good, and I want to go give her a big hug. GOP needs to land and align on abortion and get a platform. I have said this for so long. Jeremiah, thanks for liking the stream. Listen, this isn't going to be popular. You have a choice. You can listen to it or not. Abortion is morally, ethically, and existentially abhorrent. There is absolutely, whether it is rape, incest, life of mother, or prevention, whatever it may be, it's a travesty because no child is born bad. None. I don't care how bad the father was. I don't care how violent that was. A child is never a mistake. And I believe that. Do I believe a 12-year-old should have a baby? No. Bob, thanks for following us. Do I believe that a woman who has her life at risk and has 7 other kids and a husband waiting for her should give up her life for her child? That is the mother's choice and not mine. Do I believe that in the case of incest and being violated by somebody that you should be forced or raped and to have a child? No. I believe that life is precious, but in order to move forward, in order to evolve, in order to move onto more pressing things like the security of our country, the family values that were inherent in our country, the belief in a higher being, the sovereignty of our country, the faith restored in our government and our leaders, we have to find a solution for this. The heartbeat bill and the right to life bill have been sitting there for 10 years. And they are two pieces of legislation that are almost diametrically opposed. Until we agree on when the beginning of life is, then you must say that the beginning of life is at conception. Because until we can agree, the risk is too great to be flippant. The risk is too great to continue to allow another 67 million babies to be aborted in this country. We need to err on the side of caution. And instead of being callous, we must be cautious. And we must assume the very best of life, which is at the beginning of conception. That is when life is established. And if that is the case, then we must be very diligent and very careful and use our morals, use our belief in a higher power, and use science and use everything at our disposal to find the answer of what's acceptable. And I believe the right to life bill does that. 15 weeks. It's not what I want. But what I do want is it's not a zero-sum game. It can't be, because 67 million lives, if we could have put something like the right to life bill in place, we could have saved 50 million kids. The next Steve Jobs, the next Martin Luther King, the next Jimi Hendrix, the next Beatles, the next you, is a very good chance that they're gone forever and they'll never be replaced. And I understand that I would love to have it all gone, but you're not going to get that. So we might as well save as many as we can and stop the modern day slave plantations, forcing eugenics on African Americans, which is how abortion started to begin with. It started with a systematic control of eliminating Native Americans and purifying them, who wouldn't accept Christian Judeo-ethics and Christian values. The African-American populations have been decimated by abortion, and it is a solution for bad fathering, bad parenting, bad family values, and a lack of choices in the inner city. And if a Republican can't talk like me, then get off the effing stage and find the person who can. Because if you can't say the things that I am saying to the constituents of this country to make sure that they understand that we can have a conversation, and most of those conversations is not between two opposing forces, but the one within yourself. You must find the will to talk to yourself and convince yourself that there are multiple angles to this conversation, and you must have them. That way you are open and receptive to a possible change and solution to the problem, which is abortion in this country. Because having one side that unfettered access and having abortion up to birth, and the other side that says if you take your embryos as a woman who is infertile and can't have a child and your husband is, or maybe that the technology isn't there for artificial insemination and in vitro, and you want to freeze your embryo in order to go ahead and have a chance of having life, the gift of life, sometime in the future, and you are outlawing that and saying that that is murder, you are the same person who is just as bad on the left. You are a zealot and you are insane. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. But I am not going to a woman who wants to have a baby more than anything else in the world, like my sister, who I despise with everything in my soul, but I feel for her that she never had the love of a child that was her own, so therefore she tried to take ours. But I still feel for her, and I can understand the pain and hell she went through as she tried for years to have a child by every medical mean necessary. She prayed, she lit candles, she sacrificed, she was torn apart, and any woman should have the
best possible chance of having a child. And if that means freezing an embryo, then damn it, she has every right to try to do that. And the people who are trying to shut that down in the name of stopping abortion are a bunch of Pegalian mother effers to a level that I can't even begin to tell you. I have a very big problem with people who say in draconian measures that it's my way or the highway. You have never been in that position. You have never walked in those people's shoes, and you're awful frickin' judgy for a Christian. I am 100% pro-life. And the decision if my daughter was raped, if my daughter was violated, if my daughter was an age where she could not have a child, I would have that conversation with her, and I would give her and be with her for that moment and hold her hand with whatever decision she made. But as a father, until I'm faced with that situation, it's easy for me to sit here and say, but that does not mean that that is what I would do. And if you can't see that, and you can't possibly be slightly flexible on the right, okay, caller, I'll call you back in a second. If you can't see that, then you are just as bad as the people on the left who refuse to give an inch. I told you in 2020 that abortion was going to be on the ballot. I told you in 2022 is going to be on the ballot. I told you in 2023 is going to be on the ballot, and it will be on the ballot in 2024. The Republicans must vote and push forward again while they have the House, the Right to Life and the Heartbeat Bill, and force a vote. And get it on record that they are willing to be accommodating. It's not going to get passed anyway. But if you don't do that, 2024 is going to go the same way that 2023 did, 2022 did, 2018 did, and 2020 did. You must take this argument away from them. And the second thing that Republicans need to do is we need to get on the same page, and having places like Alabama and Arkansas and these batshit backwoods crazy states that I love and I think are beautiful and some of the best people are from, but the politicians are frickin' loony. 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 I don't agree with liberals much, but I do agree that there are some insane politicians out there that are going so far beyond the pale that it's very difficult for me to align with them in any way. Don't believe me? Watch this.
More women go in those places with short. You'll find more women go in those places with shorts than you will women with pants and dresses put together. Try it. If you got time, try it. Have your boy go up there and try it. Just watch for him. Have your girl go up there and watch for it. And you know, I used to say this. You know, I haven't said this in a long time. You ready? I said, if you dress like that and you get raped and I'm on the jury, he's going to go free. You don't like, do you? I'm right, though. I can't help you don't like it. I'm right. Because, you know, a man's a man.
A man's a man. Well, Matt, not everybody's like that. Not every priest or preacher or father or parish believes that. Not every Republican believes that. Not every backwoods gas station clerk believes that. Not every major oil tycoon believes that, or a person on Wall Street who's a yuppie and drives a BMW. You're right, they don't. Because there has come a point in our lives where we call out shit like that. We hit it. And we don't let it to breathe anymore. We don't allow it to breathe anymore, because that stuff right there, that is evil. You want to know what Satan is? You want to know what evil looks like? It's that fucking guy. That guy's evil.
There was a time in this country where we were able to discern between right and wrong, and I don't know where we lost it, but I'll tell you what, I don't like where we're going. We have lost the moral imperative to understand that there are people out there who are truly evil. And when we can't call it out anymore, and those are people who want to take a beautiful newborn child out of a mother's arms and kill it, those people are evil. And the people that want to take away a woman's right to save her fertility until a day that science advances or there's a breakthrough where she may be able to carry a surrogate or another child of her own in her own womb is evil. It's the same people that say you can't have any gun whatsoever to protect yourself, and you will have to call the police and wait 15 minutes while your family is being murdered and destroyed, are the same people that say that I want to kill every single person. Jesus, fucking take a hit. Calling the show is usually like a notification. Hey, I'm going to call in real quick. When I'm on a rant, we're not doing phone calls. I'm on a rant. We had an hour and a half, not now. It's the same people that say that there's the false flags when it comes to shootings, and says that Sandy Hook is fake or the most recent one is fake. Those people are just as evil. It's the people that can't recognize that Vladimir Putin is a tyrannical ruler, is a dictator, is a murderer. And Zelensky is also a piece of shit, oligarch, corrupt, dirty swindler at the same time. This is the lines of delineation between good and bad somehow have become compromising. That we can explain it away with nuance and whataboutism and things that have nothing to do with it. Like, Donald Trump slapped somebody on the back of the shoulder, so it's okay that Biden sexually accosts women and kids. That we can somehow explain it away because Donald Trump's bad, that therefore Joe Biden is free and clear to do whatever he wants, however he wants, whether it's documents, whether it's taking money from China, as long as Trump gets held to a level of standard that's beyond the pale, it's fine what Joe Biden does because the other option is worse. That's like saying, I'll go ahead and take Genghis Khan because he killed less than Hitler. I am so tired of the moral flexibility on both parties. We may be Republicans, we may be Christians, we may believe in certain things, but there is a time and a place for bullheadedness and stubbornness, and there is also a time to open up your heart and your ears and your mind and shut up and listen to a story that may alter the way you see the world. And until we can figure out how to do that again, we are constantly going to be spinning our wheels. We're going to be constantly doing the same thing, two opposing forces pushing with equal mass, equal matter. It is futility and stagnation. I am not for abortion. And I don't believe in abortion because it's not something I should believe in, because whether I believe it or not, it happens. We should be working to assure that we get back to the standard of the 1960s and 70s and 80s and the 50s when they pushed this shit on us, when they said it was going to be done in an emergency fashion. It was going to be used in a case of the utmost discretion and utmost rarity. That abortion was absolutely foul and abhorrent, and everyone agreed whether you believed in God or not. That is what we were sold. That is what we were told. Just like the LGBTQ community, it wasn't about our kids and it wasn't pushing it in school, and that would never happen because it was never a choice. It was born in you. You were born this way. And we can't make kids gay because it's not a choice. That's what we were told. And then the LGBTQ community was completely taken hostage by the transgender movement and the other movements that we don't understand and we don't really freaking agree with. But we tolerate it and we tolerate it until finally we say, hey, no more. Our kids are off limits. Stay out of our schools. Knock that shit off. You promised us. And this is what we were afraid of. And you called us a bunch of bigots and a bunch of freaking Christian white nationalists and all this other shit. And now you're not happy with where you are, which is not a minority. You're not a subjugated class. You have 226 days a year that celebrate the LGBTQI spirit times 2 community. For the love of God, if that's marginalized, then black people, Hispanics, and Asians and Jews have a freaking conversation they would like to have with you. This isn't about that. It's about crossing a line. It's about steamrolling over people's beliefs when we have given an inch and you take a mile, whether it's our guns, whether it's a child, whether it's our children. Enough is enough. We need to listen. It doesn't mean we need to accept it into our hearts. The Republican Party is doing things that I don't agree with. I don't think you should stop a mother from getting a life-saving procedure. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't think you should also take a child out of the womb or just freshly born and sit there and make a decision to terminate that life. These decisions take responsibility. The right to life is a responsibility. Accepting people around us and loving thy neighbor is a responsibility. And why we keep shunning it and shucking it off to other people is ridiculous. Those are our rights. It is something that is inherent in human beings. Why would we ever assign that right to someone else to speak for us? We must start using our voices. We must start using our ears. And more importantly, we have got to find a way to get back to our hearts, because this is the problem. This callousness, this video game mentality for life is so dangerous and malignant. The Republican Party needs to find a way to lead this conversation. We dropped the ball on the border. We dropped the ball during COVID. We had a chance. We could have led it the right way. We could have stood our ground. We should have let fear take second place to reason and rationale. There are so many things where we have had a choice to lead on, and we sit and we wait for them to fail. Our country cannot stand it anymore. It cannot stand these type of politicians anymore. And simply sitting on your hands makes you complicit. We must find a way to get legislation that is desperately needed around abortion, around protecting our schools, around protecting our border, stopping fentanyl, stop sending money wantingly overseas for nothing in return, getting in never-ending wars. We must start talking. That's it. But it won't matter. And the reason why it won't matter is because you don't understand the power that you have. You don't understand your ability. You don't understand your own strength. You have your own voice. Use it. I don't care if it's the local, state government. I don't care if it's city council. I don't care if you get your own podcast. This is my cross to bear. Find something. Get involved. Mel, I appreciate you. I love you. Wasn't ready to take a phone call at that point. Too fired up. It's 8:53. For once, we're going to leave on time. We're going to leave on time. Because I'm going to go tell my wife I love her. Listen, folks, thanks for listening to me. Thanks for sticking around. I don't have all the answers. People like Mel and everyone else who calls in, they set me straight. And I'm sure she had something great. We have got to stop frickin' with blinders, man. If you heard what some of these Republicans are doing in these states, we have to acknowledge it. We have to say it's not okay. You don't condone rape of a woman because she's wearing shorts. I will tell you something, and I'm just going to be open. If Olivia was here, I would say it. I have slept with way too many people in my life, and I have got to atone for a lot of sin. But I'll tell you what, I have never, ever
had the urge to rape another human being, because that is not sex. That is not lust. That is control, and it's the utter fabric of destroying another human being's soul. So for some jerk off to sat there on the pulpit and say that a woman in short shorts deserves to be raped, that person doesn't have any idea what God's about. That person has no business leading the souls of other men and women. That person should be excommunicated from the church. And I understand Christians don't do it, but maybe we should. That person should be tarred and feathered out of that town and never be able to speak again. Because I will tell you, rape is one of the most horrible and treacherous things ever. And if any person condones that or excuses it for something trivial as short shorts, you're not a human being. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. I appreciate you. Do me a favor. We survive on donations and tips and all that other stuff. We appreciate it. You don't have to give, but if you can go to Link Tap Go. Link Tap Go, just like it sounds. I'm putting it up in YouTube and Facebook right now, /The Dumb Show. You click on that, you'll be able to tip and donate if you'd like to. For the people who did tonight, thank you so much. It means everything to me that you're helping us out. Gloria, thank you for liking. Thank you everyone who followed and shared. You're doing your part. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We will have a Friday, Red Friday special tomorrow. I'll do a recorded show, and we should have myself. Mike will not be here. He had an emergency death in the family. He had to go to Arizona. A good friend of his passed, and he has to go take care of that. Amy will be here. Amy won't be here, but Leroy will try. Very, very busy time right now, but thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking care of me. Olivia and I will be back tomorrow. Donna, thank you for sharing the stream. God bless. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey, stop by the news.thedumbshow.com. And every day we've got a couple articles in there. Amy's now writing them furiously. We've got some great stuff out there. Go take a read. Thanks for watching. Go buy a hat. Go buy a shirt. God bless. See you tomorrow.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest,
no, Mel,
direct,
I've done all the shows up until now. Hold on. Oh. Mel, I've done all the shows up until today. So if you want to take notes on tonight, that helps. All I do is pop that into a modulator and it writes it for me, so I don't have to worry about it. So if you would not mind doing that, I would really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. God bless. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow for real this time. For realsy.